Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we are going to be kicking off our all-new cocktail contest format with our live studio audience. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-hosts, Steve Akeley and Miss Beka Sue, along with our special guests, Isabel Clark, Maybe, Courtney Cantrell, Christi Atkinson, and our finalists, Kevin Rose, Adina, and Dave Ewalds.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Guys.
Hey.
Hey, so we've got a fun show today. This is the first of our new cocktail contest. So I like the idea of trying to mix it up every year. So I think this will last for a year. Then we'll do something else, some sort of play off of that. And there'll be some continuity, some components of it that are the same, some are different. You know, in reality, I mean, McNew, just tell them, because you kind of came up with this idea. Talk a little bit about how this contest will work and what we're going to be doing that's different than in previous years.
Yeah, so last year you guys had 3 ingredients and you had to choose 2 of them to incorporate. This year it's just 1 and you have to use it no matter what, except December. I threw a wrench in December. So we'll get to that when the time comes. But we're also doing it with a live studio audience. I thought about like the Food Network shows, like where you make it in front of the judges and then present it to the judges. Obviously, we don't have a recording studio. So this is the best we can do via Zoom, but I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. And, things do happen too. So like in today's contest, Kevin Majors was a finalist.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight. His job hours vary. So he doesn't necessarily know when he's going to be working up until the week before when he gets his schedule. So he did not make it. So that elevated Dave up. He was next in line. So that brought him into tonight's contest.
Yes.
So that's a little bit different too, because last year obviously they didn't have to be here. You just whoever with the 3 were, it stuck no matter what. So
yes, but congrats, Kevin Majors, because your cocktail did get voted in, and that's new too. The ABV Network crew does vote, which come here.
Yes, and we want to get more voting. So if you're listening to this and you're part of the crew, vote. Your vote definitely counts, and you can vote for more than one too. So I voted for 2 last time. So but I wanted to vote for everybody because I like all of them. But then I thought, well, the top 2 sounds good. So I think that's what's going to be my strategy. Vote for my top 2. Yeah. So that sounds like my idea. So this time too, the judges are going to rotate on this too, right, McNew?
Yes, yeah. So it'll be probably Steve and I hosting all the time, but the other judges will rotate in and out. And I think that'll be interesting because we'll get some different palates, different tastes, and that'll be fun.
Yes. And, we also are going to culminate after this. The group, the judges from year 1 will get together and we're going to record the last, the grand finale of year 1 contest. So that'll come out tomorrow. So if you're listening to the show, that'll be out tomorrow. And you'll get to hear the finale for year 1 cocktail contest and we'll find out who wins. So there's a lot of people involved vying for that show. That should be fun.
Yeah.
With that, I want to
year of cocktails. You guys just knocked every single month out of the park.
Yeah, it was cool to see how it evolved. So I want to just say real quick hello to our judges. And before we do open up some whiskey here. So this is our classic judges, I'll say. And again, Isabel may or may not be here. So she's at a party and it looks like she may miss this episode. I don't know, but if she makes it, she'll be in later. But so start with Christi Atkinson. How you doing?
Hey, glad to be back.
Absolutely. This should be fun, right?
Yeah.
Do you watch the Food Network and see how they judge things and be that? And what type of judge would you be? Are you going to be like they get in their face and yell, "That's ridiculous," or are you going to be like the nice judge?
So I'm that person. Sunday morning, if I'm at home, if I'm not out doing something, I have the Food Network on and I'm trying to watch. There's this show and it has like 5 different judges on it. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I try to catch that around noon. So yes, I love the Food Network. I watch it when I can. And yeah, I'm the type that will be yelling.
Okay. I don't cook, but for some reason I like watching shows where people cook. You think eventually I'm going to pick up some of these things, some techniques and that. I'll be a good chef, but not yet so far. Next up is Courtney Cantrell. Courtney, this is a little bit different, right? Seeing the people make their drinks, it's a little bit better, don't you think? I mean, it's kind of a cool thing.
I'm actually really excited about it.
Yeah. Kevin Majors, who was, again, a finalist, but didn't make it because of scheduling conflict. He said, I got to remember if I can make that. And Kevin Rose might have said that too. So we had multiple people saying, hey, I put this together for the contest, but now to make it live, that's a whole different, there could be some stress that happens here, right?
Oh, very stressful. And so every season when we present our cocktails for at the bar, so we all make like 4 or 5 cocktails, all the bartenders, and then they are chosen for the menu. And without fail, every time we submit them or we present the ones that have been chosen to like our coworkers, I screw it up somehow. Cause it's just like, you're my friends and my peers, but it's just a lot of stress and the eyes are all on you. So you're just gonna like,
yeah. So you're feeling this pain. You know what this is like.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And you got to nail it. So if something happens, you know, that there's all these things taken out. How do you do making the drink and all that? That's all going to play into it. Now it's very subjective, but it's supposed to be. So, you know, there's no formula that can say, okay, we know exactly who won. It's subjective to how the judges see things, perceive them, and then vote. So that's cool. All right. Also up is Miss Beka Sue from year one. Miss Beka Sue, how you doing?
I'm great.
Great.
Wonderful.
So are you excited about
Fabulous.
this? Getting to judge people
Yeah.
on a like a chopped show or something like that?
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I don't think that I'll be a mean judge, but I think I'll, it's if something is bullshit, I'll probably call them on that. If I'm like, all right, like, is that real? Like,
was that
necessary? Was it something we really needed to do in this?
Right.
But in general, I mean, I will almost drink anything, as you know, Steve. So like there hasn't really been any of the cocktails where I was like, I would absolutely not drink that cocktail. Like, no, I'll finish it. Would I like it? I don't know. So, I think I'll be, I might be nice. I guess we'll find out. You never
We'll find
know.
out. Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, I don't think anybody will be mean, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, guess what? It is time to drink. We'll meet our contestants after the break. So let's drink. Let's start with Courtney. Courtney, we're starting with you. What are you going to be drinking here tonight as you're judging this?
So I finally got my hands on the King's Counted Peated Bourbon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
very good. Very good.
Nice.
That's going to be tough to beat. We'll see. We'll play the game. We'll see what happens. Christi, you're next.
Okay, so I have 6 and 20, which was brought to me by one of the guys from my whiskey den.
Okay.
This is from South Carolina.
Gotcha. No noise at all. At least I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything.
No, I didn't hear anything. So nothing there. Courtney obviously still has the lead. So Courtney's got the lead. Next up is Beka. Beka, what do you got?
All right. I have, let's do, got some Baker's single barrel.
Okay.
So, about half gone.
About half gone. Well loved, but we'll see what happens. Good. Not as good as Courtney's, but very
I
good.
feel like Courtney's was definitely better than mine.
Courtney's got you. She's still got the
I had a
lead.
strategy in choosing my bottle today. So.
I don't have anything that was new, so I was just like, I'm not even attempting at. I'm not going to pretend.
Okay. All right. Next up is McNew. McNew, what do you got?
All right, so I've had a weird day and I actually just did not bring a bottle in with me, but I have a mint julep, so Courtney's going to keep her lead.
Okay, she keeps the lead. It's down between Courtney and I. I've got Yellowstone. This bottle is, I'm going to say 2/3 full. Just eyeball it. Let's see what we got here. Any life left in this thing? Let's see. No, nothing at all there. Courtney, obvious winner. So congratulations to Courtney winning the first one in year 2 cocktail contest. Cork pop. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
All right. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we'll be bringing our contestants in. They're going to be mixing up some drinks. Should be fun. We'll do that in just a few.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. It's our new cocktail contest, and we're going to meet our contestants.
Yes, we are. So let's just talk to all of them. This will be the order that you will be going to. So you know that as we run through this. So Adina Ewalds, you're first. How you doing, Adina?
Great. Looking forward to this.
Okay. And what's the name of the cocktail you'll be making for us tonight?
I'm making a cocktail I call Sega's Delight.
Sega's Delight. What was your inspiration for this thing?
I kind of got off on my Scandinavian heritage and started looking up some things about Scandinavian celebrations of spring and the whole idea of the April rain with the smell and the feel of it. So I kind of combine those, and there's Sega is one of the Nordic goddesses who was the seer and one of the harbingers of spring.
Okay. I think that's well played, because McNew, there's a theme to these, right? That's part of the deal too. It's one ingredient, but it's a theme.
Yeah, I love a theme. So I either try to like tie it in with like a kind of like a cheeky like name, like April showers was this year, and Topo Chico
This
was
month, yeah.
a mineral water anyways was the main ingredient that you needed to use. So yeah, and then next month is like May flowers. So you have to use
Okay.
edible flowers, and then we'll do tiki and stuff later in the year. So it all ties in.
Okay. Tiki will be my favorite month.
Me too.
I love
I'm
tiki
excited.
drinks. Yes. All right. Kevin Rose, you're next. Kevin, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. And yourself?
Doing well as
Good.
well. So you're going to be making what for us today?
I have a cocktail that I made called Some Like It Hot.
Okay.
It is the inspiration of the name is from the supergroup Power Station back in 1985.
All
A couple of
right.
guys from Duran Duran, Tony Thompson from Chic, and Robert Palmer. So I kind of like the name and the cocktail, some of the ingredients in there. You may need to like it hot, and you may need to drink a little of those, drink on some of those April showers if you get this too hot.
All right. That'll be a fun one to see you put together. So welcome, and appreciate you being on tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next up is Dave Ewalds. Dave, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
You got the lucky call. You were waiting by your phone, hoping you were going to get the call to be on the show. Then you got the call, you weren't, and you were crestfallen. But then our producer called you back and said, "Guess what, Dave? You've made it." And
Exactly.
I understand you went crazy. You were running around the house screaming and all kinds of stuff.
Hey, you weren't supposed to tell anybody. Throwing glitter all over the place. It was a scene.
Sure.
That
Sure.
edible glitter you had to
Edible
use
glitter
last year.
everywhere.
Edible glitter. Yes.
We have a problem in our kitchen with that.
So, Dave, what are you going to be making tonight?
I'm making a cocktail I call Love Rain Over Me, and it's inspired by the song by The Who.
Sure.
I think everybody knows that song, but
Not McNew though, but yeah, the rest of us.
I don't actually.
that song.
That's
So,
good. Yes.
you know, that I think of April showers and the refreshing feeling they bring, and just the ingredients of the cocktail. I was shooting for refreshing, and you know, thinking of spring rains refreshing the spring air.
Very good. Well, welcome to all of our cocktail contests. Good luck to everyone. Have fun. No pressure here. It's just us here, not any of our listeners. So, well, maybe there are a lot of listeners, but they're not here with us right now. It's just this small group. You can see all of us. So good luck. Adina, you're first. Again, remind us what you're making and then tell us the ingredients, and go ahead and walk us through the
Okay.
process.
I've got a cocktail I call Sega's Delight.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a little bit of the Scandinavian spring celebration mixed with the word for the smell of the rain in the spring is called petrichor,
Okay.
and it has this very distinctive fresh yet earthy smell to it. So
Okay.
I tried actually went through quite a few iterations on this, but I came up with, excuse me, I'm going to put ice in here. Came up with this one. Give it a try. The secret ingredient in mine is the pine liqueur that I made. If you remember from the last cocktail competition, I had one that was just the pine and the I think it was vodka I used in it. This one I used a rye new make, and Christi, you probably know where I got it from. And in it, I also added some hibiscus buds and some crushed cardamom, and then the hemlock leaves. Now this, see if you can see it.
I'm glad nobody died with those.
Okay, this hemlock is not the poisonous hemlock bush. This is from the hemlock pine tree. Yes, I did research this before.
Yeah, thankfully. Yes, yes.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I was going to help clarify for Adina because I have found poison hemlock before and it looks nothing like it.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And I didn't die. She had me tested. Up the life insurance first.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's a real mild pine smell. And so it's not overpowering in the pine, but it gives that kind of earthy spring feel to it, as well as the cardamom in there gives it a little bit of the earthiness, and the hibiscus, some of the fresh flower notes. So that's the secret ingredient in there. So what I am doing with this one is, yes, I'm using my Highland Park. And it was, I mean, I went through several different base spirits for it. And when I tried this one, I said, this is the one. So I'm using 2 ounces of that.
Okay.
And 1 ounce of the pine liqueur.
All right.
I pre-measured out 1/2 ounce of lemon juice,
Okay.
fresh squeezed. I didn't want to try using sharp objects on the video.
Probably a good idea. Good idea.
And then I used like 2 drops of the walnut bitters, again, to get that earthy, foresty scent in there.
Okay.
Then after trying it several times, I thought something is just a little out of balance. And then I remember the wonderful advice from Courtney about putting just a little dash of salt in it.
Okay.
And it helped up the sweetness without adding sweet, and taking down a little bit of the acid from the lemon.
Okay.
So I'm just a little pinch of kosher salt.
All right.
Then shake it. I want to shake it quite a bit to make sure that salt is incorporated.
Okay. It's kind of a low shake there. Courtney, you would be typically over the shoulder, right? I would guess.
I don't
I
know.
do, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I usually see, like the bartenders do. But I would do it like Adina does.
Judgy,
Yeah.
Steve.
I
Judgy.
mean, I'm just the amateur. So then I'm going to double strain that into, and I said in the description, I said, put it in whatever glass you want. It doesn't matter. I'm putting it into a large wine glass
Okay.
because it doesn't have any patterns or anything, so I can see the bubbles in it. Then I'm going
It's
to
like a
add
pretty champagne
about
color.
3 ounces of Topo Chico.
Topo
Give it a
Chico.
little bubbles. And I put in my description, I said, you know, you think of the April rain, and it's the rain within the air, and the sparkling water is the air within the water.
Ah.
So
That's good.
got a little esoteric on that one. Then I'm just going to garnish it with a little piece of the hemlock. And I've got like 3 juniper berries, just to give it a little interest in there.
Okay.
And of course, the garnish doesn't want to stand upright, but
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
it's lovely.
Looks beautiful.
And I
Yeah,
love
there
the
you
color.
go.
Like it looks like, it really does look like a champagne color. It's so pretty.
Good job. Yeah. All right.
I have
Dave's
my
looking it off
cameraman help
camera.
on that one.
I think that's a
Yes.
beautiful cocktail.
I think so too. Looks good.
And good
And
job being the
let's-
first person.
Yeah, that's not
See
easy.
how it works. Let's see
Person
how it
number
tastes.
one is never
Cheers,
easy.
everybody.
Cheers.
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 See, she's showing you it's not poisonous.
Let's see
Yeah,
her
I know,
face.
poison.
She drops dead in a second. Oh.
We're like, oh,
It honestly, it is like delicious.
Okay.
sounds
Okay.
delicious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Adina, thank you very much. You are officially in the contest and you did a great job.
Thank
She's
you.
going to be tough to beat. She set a very high standard, but we do have to play the game. So that means Kevin Rose, you are up next. Remind us what you're going to be making.
Okay. First of all, going first, you may think is difficult. Following Adina, that's the
True.
challenge. That's the bravery in this. Okay. You know, here's Picasso and some beautiful work of art, and here's the finger painting I did.
35 years, Kevin. That's my life.
You're going to do great, Kevin.
Oh man. So this is called Some Like It Hot. And during the contest, monthly contest last year, I believe a couple of times Adina referred to my cocktails as being accessible, which was a very nice way of saying easy, but that's okay. I'm good with easy, because that means that if a dope like me can make it, who's never made cocktails until I started in this contest, can make it, you can make it. All right. So
that's
the goal here. All right.
That's good.
So during the course of last year, I would research a few different cocktails just to try to get some ideas. And one of the ones that I'd written down was a cocktail called the Chauncey, and that had gin, rye, brandy, vermouth, and bitters in it. And so I did a little bit of a riff on that. There's some significant differences, but there's some similarities too. As far as the sparkling mineral water, I tried to do a little gameplay thing, and rather than using it as a topping or something to top off my drink, I use it in the ice in the glass.
That's
so
good.
just to try to do something a little different.
I like that.
One of the things that I made, the only thing that really took advanced prep was the simple syrup, and I don't know if you can see that or not, because I'm at Jim Beam. But it is a jalapeno lime simple syrup, and I tried that once before and really enjoyed it. It's very easy to make. Just you need half a cup of sugar, a cup of water, you quarter a lime, you slice up a jalapeno, throw out the stem, put it all in a pan, heat it up, bring it to a boil, stirring it, and then just let it simmer for 45 minutes and all that lime and jalapeno kind of get into it. You cool it, and I bottled it and refrigerated it, so it's hung around pretty well. So the base booze in mine is Solomon Scott rye, which is from Spirits French Lick. I just got that maybe a day or two before the contest, so I've got an ounce of it.
Okay.
And I have an ounce of gin. I used a more citrusy gin than a traditional Christmas tree tasting kind of gin.
Okay.
That's not too technical for you guys, is it?
No, because that's what I used to call gin until we just did a good gin experiment. So
then a half ounce of cherry brandy. This is Fidelitas Black Forest Kershauer cherry brandy.
Sounds good.
And then the jalapeno lime simple syrup. I used a half ounce when I made it. You can use more or less depending on your taste for some heat.
Okay.
And then tossed in a few cherry bitters. All this is in a mixing glass. So then,
okay, good technique.
Take that up and strain it into my glass over the mineral water rock.
Ice cube. All right.
Then top it off with some ale 8.
Nice. Love ale 8.
Yep. And then garnish it with some a lemon peel.
Okay.
And there you have it. You can see it.
Yes.
And put it like in front of your face, maybe, so we can see it. There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Because the rest of it was blending into your background.
Yep. That looks good.
And it looks lovely. It looks just as good as the picture you sent us. It does look good.
Interesting thing about it. Thank you. The interesting thing about it is you can pick out each of the specific ingredients, but it's also a way they all work together. And that jalapeno, you'll think, well, I didn't really get that. And then a few seconds later, it'll kind of kick in. But it's a very easy drinker. I made one up the other day for a little deck pour, and that was really good. So
okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Good job. Excellent. He did good under the pressure. He was worried after following it, but he did a great job. So great, good work there. All right. Last but not least, Davey Waltz. Tell us about your cocktail. What you're going to be making again, Dave.
I'm going to make one I call Love Reign Over Me. And it's named after the song by The Who. And the tagline in the song, if you remember, it's, "Oh God, I really need a drink of cool, cool rain." So this drink, kind of reminds you of a nice, refreshing, cool rain in the spring. I use an elderflower liqueur in the drink. It's wild elderflower with clusters of small, pale yellow elderflowers are hand harvested each spring from orchards in the countryside. I mean, you can't get any better than a liqueur like that. So, there's your spring flowers. And then a little bit of refreshingness with, I use some Barrow's Ginger Intense liqueur.
Okay.
Now I should mention on the elderflower, you could use Saint Germain, which is a similar thing to this, but I think this is a little less sweet than the Saint Germain, and this is a little bit more flowery.
Okay.
Then I also used Ford's Gin. So this is a London Dry, but it's not, I want to say it's not as sharp as a lot of London Dries or way juniper forward, but it's got a nice floral accent to it with the juniper, and it's refreshing. So I tried a few gins, and this one I like the best.
Okay.
So a couple of things I made ahead of time. Fresh fruit, and again, emphasize, and Dina said when she talked about it, brings your cocktail to the next level. Fresh fruit, always juice an orange or your lemon or your lime or your grapefruit or whatever, fresh. Don't use the old stuff. It'll just kick it up a little bit of a notch.
Okay.
So I 2 ounces of grapefruit ahead of time. Again, sharp objects on camera. I made some grapefruit peels, and as easy as you just take a vegetable peeler and you make some peels on a grapefruit. So I have a few of these right here. Some are going in the cocktail, and one of them is my garnish. So build this thing. Ice in a shaker. Dina was kind enough to leave me some ice, kind of.
Clean the shaker.
And clean the shaker, thank you. All right, so we're gonna go with 2 ounces of the freshly squeezed grapefruit.
Okay.
And we're gonna go with 2 ounces of the Ford's Gin. Then on the wild elderflower, I go 2 ounces of this one too.
Okay.
Lovely smelling stuff.
Mhm.
Very flowery. Then the Gifford's intense ginger. It's not as intense as they describe it, but it's good
He
stuff.
loves gingers.
I love ginger, so
Okay.
ginger is the spice of life, by golly. Let's see. I think that's about it. Yep.
Ice.
Ice. Hey, this is my session. Pepsi cocktail mixer.
Shaking it up. It's giving a good shake.
Well, we criticized Adina, so he had to do his best. On
Yeah,
this
yeah,
one.
he's
Tim
got
did
the
in
technique.
chat say that Adina's was called the Boston Shake. Apparently, there's a name for it.
Okay.
Oh, just a little bit of the grapefruit in a glass in the bottom.
Okay.
And double strain.
Double strain. Okay.
Shook it so it's a bit frothy. Vigorous shake. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have to have kind of a suitable large glass to build this one. So this is a larger glass. Now top it off with Topo Chico. Dina laughs. I keep on calling it Topo Gigio for some reason. So it's nice, refreshing, sparkling, frothy. And we garnish it with a little
Wow.
peel on the side.
Looks good. Looks
Also
Perfect.
lovely.
Spring.
Great job, Dave.
Congratulations, Dave.
Cocktail.
Looks good, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Give that a try. Let's see what he likes there. Let's see what he thinks. He's
Awesome
giving
if I
thumbs
do
up.
say so myself.
Okay.
Let me try that one.
All right. Well, excellent work there by everyone. Let's give one more round of applause to all of our contestants today because they did a great job. Hey-oh,
Yay.
wow, the crowd is
Stop
easy. Easy.
The
All right.
applausometers going off the rails.
Yes, it's crazy. Okay. So here's where we're at. The power is now out of the hands of our contestants. They had the stage for a minute here. Now it gets turned over to the judges. Judges will do a very similar approach that we did in year one. We'll talk about each of the three cocktails. Then we will rank them 1, 2, and 3. 1 being our favorite, second being second, third being our third favorite. I don't think there's a bad one here. So it's definitely not the least favorite or bad or anything like that. It's just we have to rank them. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Up first is going to be Christi. Christi, you will be first.
Okay. So we're going to start with Adina's with the Saga's Delight. Love the choice of the Scotch. That's actually one of my favorites. I am familiar with the pine liqueur. Adina has actually provided me with her first version of the recipe. So I'm really excited to see this updated recipe. I will definitely be making this very soon. I really do enjoy the play with the walnut bitters. I think that adds a nice warm note that matches the Scotch very well. Plays off the foresty notes with the pine liqueur. And then that pinch of salt, obviously we're doing that little saline solution almost. And all the proportions look very good there. I do think the technique is right on. Moving on to Kevin, Some Like It Hot. I was a little apprehensive when I saw, Kevin, that you said 45 minutes for the steeping of the jalapeno, but I do really enjoy a little bit of spice in my cocktails once in a while. So this is one that I could see myself drinking. Cherry brandy is an interesting complement. I think the jalapeno would work really well against that rye, brings out some of those herbal notes, some vegetalness. And I like that you use gin here too. Proportions look good. I like your technique there as well. And then moving on to Dave's April Showers. So I had a cocktail today that reminded me of this cocktail, and there was not grapefruit in it, but it had elderflower liqueur and gin. And to me, that actually brought to mind grapefruit. So I was excited when I look over at Dave's cocktail here and I see he actually added the grapefruit in, because that to me is what immediately calls to mind what should be there. So I really enjoyed that. Good choice on all of the different liqueurs. I agree on the Ford's gin for this one. Proportions look good on that as well. So my ranking, I'm going to give Adina number 1.
Okay.
I'm going to give Dave number 2, and that was a hard one. And then Kevin number 3.
Number 3. Okay. All right. Next up is Miss Beka Sue.
All right. Let me pull up my little show notes here. I did think it was interesting because there was no lead on what kind of alcohol to use, but we got a Scotch and then we got 2 gins, which I don't generally think of Scotch, and I love Scotch. That was my first whiskey love, was Scotch. So I don't generally think of Scotch as like a refreshing spring cocktail, but now I do. With Adina's, I mean, I love the pine liqueur. I've never even tried it, but I want to try it. I love the work you put into it. I just love the concept of it. I love that pine taste, and like everything about it just sounds absolutely delicious. And so just the pine liqueur with the Scotch mixed with the walnut bitters, all of it sounds absolutely amazing. It looks delicious. And I would love to be sitting outside when there's a little bit of rain and just sipping on this cocktail. With Kevin's, a nice simple drink you got there, Kevin. Joke. It's a joke.
No, it's true.
But it is. But like, there's nothing wrong with simplicity. And it's my personal favorite part about it is your lemon or your lime jalapeno simple syrup. I am a big sucker for jalapeno anything. And so I love having a cocktail with the jalapeno in it where it takes you a second, like you said, where it's all of a sudden hits you and it's delicious. And it just gives that little bit of zing right at the very end. And I like a cocktail that will kind of linger. And so that giving you a little bit of bite at the end sounds delicious. And I do, I love that we do have 2 gin cocktails, because that would be more of what I would think about for springtime stuff. I also like the cherry bitters to me, and you also had a cherry liqueur in there, right?
Cherry brandy, yeah.
Cherry brandy. So those 2 with that lemon or lime jalapeno, that just sounds like it sounds delicious. And then with Dave's, absolutely beautiful, Dave. Simple, beautiful. I love gin with grapefruit juice. I love a good salty dog. I think that those are I love those cocktails. So the gin with the grapefruit, just wonderful. What else did you have in here that I really liked? Just a combination, like with that elderflower liqueur that you have. Where did you find that?
The
Grocery store.
grocery store.
It's a grocery store. It's like you reading the bottle. I'm like, what kind of craft thing did you get here? This sounds
No, I
sounds
think it's
great.
around.
It sounds delicious.
It's a lot cheaper than Saint Germain, and you're not paying for the fancy bottle.
I appreciate that. If it's better,
I think it's better.
sounds cooler, and it's cheaper, that's a win in my eyes. But again, just another simple, beautiful cocktail. I'm happy you didn't cut yourself. Neither, any of you
Nope.
guys didn't get
Right.
yourselves hurt during this contest. So that being said, just watching Adina make hers, I want to drink that drink so bad. It sounds so good. So Adina is my number 1. Dave, because you use that fresh grapefruit juice, whenever I make a salty dog, I will not use anything but fresh grapefruit, because you cannot beat fresh juice. You can't, it's impossible. The cocktail tastes completely different. It's not fresh. And so for that reason, you're getting number 2. And then Kevin, you got my number 3, although that does sound absolutely delicious. It's nothing wrong with it, but the first 2, I was like, oh, I need that right this minute. I want to chug both of those drinks right now.
Okay. All right. Next up is Courtney.
This is difficult, not only because the drinks look delightful, but you're all here to listen to me talk about them, which is really so, loving this new format, Steve.
Hashtag judging.
I'm really oh my God, what am I going to say? Okay, so I'm just going to start. So Adina, I really am enjoying the way that this cocktail is looking to me, because not only, like Christi said, the technique, the builds that you did are just very classic, but it's also very difficult for a lot of bartenders, that actually do this professionally, to make a Scotch cocktail that isn't super winter or fall forward. So when you see Scotch and then pine liqueur, that automatically makes you think, oh, this is going to be not bright and light and something you'd want to drink in the spring, but this 100% gives that to me. Even with the black walnut bitters, that makes me think spring, but it looks delightful and really light and fresh. With the lemon juice, is a good choice to kind of brighten that up a bit. And the pine liqueur itself, I love that you use cardamom, because that seriously is one of my favorite things on the planet right now. And the hibiscus also, that's lightens it up quite a bit. So Kevin, this drink also I'm so excited about. You did follow a classic cocktail already, so that kind of helped you out a little bit, but I like that you took it and made a spin on it with a little bit of spice. And the jalapeno and lime just work wonderfully together. And especially when you add the cherry in there, I love the play on those flavors. My only critique is I would stir it rather than shake the cocktail, because you didn't actually use any citrus juice in the build. So you don't need to shake it. You could just stir it. But all in all, it looks great. And I was curious about the actual using the sparkling water for the ice. Did that make a difference, do you think?
I don't know that it did. I've read some things online where it would make a clearer cube, but it really didn't. It kind of made it a little more cloudy, actually.
Okay. I can see that, like the bubbles are trapped in there. I just didn't
Yep.
know if it like kind of gave a little bit more effervescence as it like diluted, but
As it dilutes, it does a little bit, yes.
oh, cool. Okay,
Yep.
awesome. And then you have the ale 8, which is like you got the double bangs on those
Right.
bubbles.
And
Yeah.
that's got a little ginger in it, and that kind of plays against the other flavors too. So.
I've never had ale 8, so I just had to. I was like, I don't know, but yeah, that looks also great. And then moving on to Dave. Yeah, this looks like a drink that I would like pour into a glass and go like glug glug glug, sitting on the porch, just like have a great old time. All the ingredients themselves like definitely play well with each other, but it's a lot of liquid. Like, you know what? It's like 2 ounces of this, and I'm sure it's delightful and well balanced. And I'm just like, yeah, that's definitely a lot of each ingredient. But
Big glass.
yeah,
He's got a pint glass.
I'm here
Yes.
for it. When I was reading, I was like, okay, so he's gonna say this makes like a pitcher of something. It's like, nope, just one glass, like have fun, which I'm here for. That's what I'm like, I'm gonna sit on my porch and drink this
Mhm.
and chug it, actually, not drink it. But yeah, it looks and reads like it's super tasty and light. So this is hard. But I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm giving Adina my first pick, but I would say Kevin is my number 2.
Okay.
And Dave for a third.
Okay. Next up is me. I will say this in terms of, judging, several things go into this, and presentation. I felt Adina was a standout. She did a great job. Next up was Dave, and then Kevin. Certainly, because you couldn't see his stuff. That was the only thing. I mean, obviously, but that being said, to me, it all comes down to the taste, right? So it comes down. That's the heaviest points to go to for me on the taste of it. So as I looked at these, and I'm not the pine thing. I don't think I can get past that. I'm not really into the pine idea. And Dave's, I thought, as Courtney was hitting on it there at the end, I just felt like that was probably too big of a cocktail, that you would see in a bar. So, but Kevin hit on everything that I love. I love the creativity of doing the cubes. I thought that was cool. I like the idea of the jalapeno and lime, like a lot of people said. I like the double cherry thing he had going because he had the cherry bitters and the cherry brandy. And of course, topping it with Ale 8, you can't go wrong with that. So to me, Kevin gets my first place vote. Dave goes second place, and Adina third for me. All right, McNew, you're next.
All right. So Adina, so I love like the thought that everybody puts into these. You're either like matching them with a story or matching them with a song. And I love that. So I love that she kind of did the Scandinavian thing and like brought up some old gods here for it. I love the pine liqueur. It's something that you've obviously perfected and put a lot of time into. I love that. Yours turned out this beautiful champagne color, which was surprising for like a Scotch for me. I did not expect it to look the way it did. It's gorgeous. Kevin Rose, I was real mad at you when you only put Topo Chico in your ice cube, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I like people that learn the rules and find a loophole. So I love this loophole that you use just to put it into the ice. I was mad at first, but now I like it. And I love some jalapeno. Like give me some like jalapeno margarita or something in the summer. I'm so happy. That's such a good flavor. And also you based it off the Chauncey, which is in the Waldorf Astoria bar book. It's one of my favorite books. I have it at home. I literally read it like a book, sat down and read it front to back. Classic cocktail that you made your own. And I think that's lovely. Dave, I love that you always find a song to pair yours with. And it does sound refreshing. However, I'm not a grapefruit girl, but the elderflower and ginger probably balance that out. And that sounds great. And it looks great. And I love that so Courtney like commented on that's a lot of liquid. I love that. I would also drink that on my porch. So that being said, Kevin Rose is surprisingly my number 1 because I love the jalapeno. I love the loophole. Here for it. See, it sounds easy. I could probably make that at home. I like that. Adina is my number 2. Hers just looks refreshing and so pretty. And Dave is my number 3.
Okay. All right. Well, no need for ties or anything like that. We have our official results in. In third place, Dave Ewalds. Dave, congratulations. You snuck in. Nothing wrong with a show in this group. So excellent job there. In second place, He started out slow, but he was gaining steam. And maybe if Isabel would have showed up, who knows if it could have been different. He was really going at the end there, wasn't he? So he had 10 points. So Kevin gets second place. That means Adina, our big champion in year 1, kicks off year 2 with the big win.
Win. Go Adina.
Dave, it's going to be a tough year, I think, for you. So
Tell me about it.
yeah.
It's been a tough 12 months.
Yeah. Again, congratulations to everyone. You all did a great job. Adina, you win first place. You get a $20 gift card to the ABV Network shop, and I will have Justine send you that way, hopefully tomorrow. She's usually pretty quick on that stuff. So that's it. If you want to get in the cocktail contest, you can get in it. The ingredients, it's Mayflowers, as McNew mentioned, and edible flowers. I think we said that earlier in the show.
Yes,
but you have
which
to
is like dandelions, pansies. Be creative. Give me whatever you find out is edible that won't kill us. Throw it in there.
Yes, true. So yeah, you've got until the 15th of the month. So you've got a little bit more than 2 weeks to get those cocktails together. Full rules. If you want to get in on there, you can head over to abvnetwork.com/coin, or you can hit on cocktail contest if you're on the website, and it will take you directly there as well. And because there are some other things, you got to have our ABV Network coin in there, and you got to tag in McNew so we know you made the cocktail, all those kind of things.
Yeah,
so,
I won't see it if you don't tag me, guys. You got to tag me.
Right. There's nothing we can do. If we miss it, we just miss it. If you don't tag it, we apologize, but there's nothing we can do. So that's it. Number one in the books. We've got 11 more of these to go. So kicking off a pretty exciting year 2. We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. We're going to start with Courtney. Courtney, where can people find you?
Hey, y'all can find me on Instagram at Courtney.Cantrell.
All right. Next up is Christi.
You can find me on Instagram at Southbound Lane.
All right. Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right. McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, is abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Cocktail contest information, as we talked about, is out there. Previous shows, our blogs are out there. The shop is out there. So much more. abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. Get out there and make those cocktails, get them posted. We'll have a show tomorrow that will wrap up season 1. We'll hear who the winner is of the big grand prize. So that should be fun. Don't forget, judges, you are in the ABV Network Crew Club. You're not going to be on next month. Maybe some of our judges might be throwing a cocktail in the mix. We'll see what happens. Should be fun. Take care, everybody. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Hey, thank you, judges.
No, thank you for making fun things for us.